Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Now, a very important thing is that a nominal sentence, al-jumlatul ismiyatu, will have two parts, two pillars on which it will stand. And those two pillars are, number one, mubtada or mubtadaun. The actual word is mubtadaun, and you can call it mubtada, right? And then the second pillar, the second part of a sentence is of a jumla ismiya is khabarun or predicate. Mubtada and khabar. Mubtadaun or khabarun, subject and predicate. I would like to give you brief description of what a subject is. Actually, Hindi में जो लोग पढ़े हुए हैं, those who have studied Hindi, those who have studied English grammar in Hindi, they have made mistakes in understanding the subject. समझ में आ रही बात? They have made mistakes in understanding the subject. So I want to clarify what that mistake most of the people have done in terms of understanding the subject while they study it from Hindi. In Hindi there is a word called karta. Hindi there is a word called karta. Karta means doer. Karta means doer of the action. Karta actually means doer of the action. So people, according to the Hindi Vyakaran, according to Hindi grammar, in English also, they think that the subject is the doer of the action. Subject is the doer of the action. And this definition is wrong. 100% wrong. Because subject does not have to depend upon doing the action. The subject may be doing the action and the subject may not be doing the action, in English as well. है ना? सब्जेक्ट काम करता हुआ भी हो सकता है, सब्जेक्ट काम नहीं करता हुआ भी हो सकता है. सब्जेक्ट के लिए जरूरी नहीं है कि वो काम करे. I'll give you an example. See,
अगर आपको लेसन्स और वीडियो पसंद आ रहे हैं तो इनको सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए ताकि जब भी हम वीडियो अपलोड करें तो वो आपके पास सबसे पहले नोटिफिकेशन पहुंच जाए. और अगर आपको अच्छा लगता है तो अपने कॉन्टैक्ट्स में शेयर कर दीजिए और लाइक भी कीजिए.
A man killed a tiger. एक आदमी ने एक शेर को मारा, कत्ल किया, खून किया, है ना? तो आप ये बताइए कि इस सेंटेंस में काम करने वाला कौन है? Who is the doer? A man. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट डेफिनेशन, जो हमने डेफिनेशन लोगों ने पढ़ रखा है कि डूअर इज द सब्जेक्ट, तो उस हिसाब से तो यहाँ आपको सब्जेक्ट मिल गया. विच इज द सब्जेक्ट? A man. If the definition of the subject is that the doer is the subject, then you get a subject here. अगर आपका डेफिनेशन ये हो कि काम करने वाला सब्जेक्ट होता है तो आपको यहाँ पर सब्जेक्ट मिल गया. मगर look at another sentence. एक दूसरा सेंटेंस देखिए. The tiger was killed. The tiger was killed. शेर मारा गया. शेर मारा गया. The tiger was killed. Who is the doer? कौन कर रहा है ये एक्शन?
No one.
Not known. Not known. You don't know who is doing the action, who has done the action, right? A tiger was killed. Who killed the tiger? Nobody knows because it is not spoken in the sentence. It's not given in the sentence, right? So the doer of action is not known. पता ही नहीं है कौन किया. Then how can you find subject here? If the definition says that the doer of the action, क्रिया करने वाला कर्ता कहलाता है, तो यहाँ तो subject मिलेगा ही नहीं. You will not get a subject. और जब तक subject नहीं होगा, there can be no sentence. There cannot be a sentence without a subject. Why? ऐसा क्यों है? Subject नहीं होगा तो sentence नहीं होगा. ऐसा क्यों है? I'll tell you. I'll give you an example. Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, is delivering a speech. ठीक है? What is he doing? Delivering a
speech.
and his speech is about corruption. He is speaking about corruption. ठीक है? He says that corruption is very bad, very bad, very bad, and he is delivering a speech for 15 minutes. Now, if I ask you what is the topic on which Modi is speaking, what will be your answer?
Corruption.
कौन से टॉपिक पर मोदी बोल रहे हैं? तो आप कहेंगे corruption is the topic. Now I ask you, what is the subject of Modi's speech? मोदी के स्पीच का सब्जेक्ट क्या है? The answer will be subject will be corruption. And the corruption subject पे बोल रहे हैं. Okay. What is the subject of our study today? Leave it, छोड़ दीजिए. What is the subject of our study today?
Nominal sentence.
Nominal sentence. है ना? So, nominal sentence, this is the subject of our study of our class today. Corruption is the topic of Modi's speech, right? So, whatever you speak about becomes your subject. है ना? Subject क्या है? Whatever we speak about, if a story is about a tiger, then a tiger is the subject of that story. है ना? If a story is about a tiger, then a tiger is the subject of that story. Correct? If a letter is about cleanliness, letter, you write a letter to your father about cleanliness. If a letter is about cleanliness, then cleanliness is the subject of the letter. Is the subject of the letter. है ना? समझ में आ रही बात? So if a passage, you write a passage about a cow, then the cow is the subject of your passage. If you write a paragraph on India, then the subject of your paragraph is India. Understand? So when you speak something, you need a subject to speak on. When you speak, when you make a sentence, you need a subject which you are speaking about in a sentence. है ना? So the subject of a sentence is that which you speak about. Which you speak about. That which you speak about may be the doer, may not be the doer. So in the first sentence, when you said a man killed a tiger, a man killed a tiger, a man killed a tiger, you are telling about a man. So a man is the subject. And in the second sentence, you said the tiger was killed. Then you are telling about the tiger. So the tiger becomes the subject. In the first sentence, the subject is the doer of the action. And in the second sentence, the subject, the tiger, is not the doer of the action. So it means that the subject may be the doer or the subject may not be the doer. The action is being done by the subject and the action is not being done by the subject. Does not matter when you have to decide the subject. So whatever you speak about in a sentence is called the subject. If you are speaking about Khalid, then Khalid is the subject. If you are speaking about Rashid, then Rashid is the subject. If you are speaking about Muhammadun, then Muhammadun is the subject. If you are speaking about Madrasatun, then Madrasa is the subject. If you are speaking about Allahu, then Allahu is the subject. So whatever you speak about is the subject of that sentence.
अगर आपको लेसन्स और वीडियो पसंद आ रहे हैं तो इनको सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए ताकि जब भी हम वीडियो अपलोड करें तो वो आपके पास सबसे पहले नोटिफिकेशन पहुंच जाए। और अगर आपको अच्छा लगता है तो अपने कॉन्टैक्ट्स में शेयर कर दीजिए और लाइक भी कीजिए।
है ना? राइट? समझ में आ गई बात?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if you speak about anything you speak about becomes the subject of your sentence, and that subject is called mubtada or mubtadaun in Arabic. Understand? So mubtada is that which you speak about in a sentence. Mubtada is that which you speak about in a sentence. Now if I tell you Wasfa, if I ask you to make a sentence and I say that you use the word Muhammadun as subject in your sentence, but don't tell anything about Muhammad, make a sentence. Wasfa, you are hearing me? Wasfa, you are
Without using Muhammadun.
What I am telling you, listen to me attentively. Make a sentence. Make a sentence. Your subject is Muhammadun. In English, you make a sentence in English. The subject will be Muhammad. But don't tell anything about Muhammad. Make a sentence. Sindhuja, now I am asking you. Tell about make a sentence. Your subject will be India. Your subject is India. But in your sentence, don't tell anything about India. Make a sentence. Your subject is India. Don't tell anything about India and make a sentence. Can you make a sentence?
Yes, sir.
It is impossible.
No, you cannot make a sentence. Until you have something to say about India, you cannot use India as the subject. Right? If you use a subject India, you will say something about India. If you don't say anything about India, you cannot make a sentence. You will say India is a country. India is a country. A country is that, a country is a country, is a country, is the part of the sentence, is that which you are telling about India. So India is the subject and is a country becomes the predicate of the sentence. Understand? Now your sentence will have two parts. One is India. India is that which you are speaking about, and is a country is that which you are speaking about India. Understand? You are speaking, whatever you speak about subject is called predicate. Whatever you speak about subject is called predicate, and whatever you speak about in a sentence is called the subject. I think you are all of you are clear. समझ में आ गया? सेंटेंस में जिसके बारे में बोला जाए, सेंटेंस में जिसके बारे में बोला जाए वो सेंटेंस का सब्जेक्ट है, और उसके बारे में, सब्जेक्ट के बारे में जो कुछ बोला जाए सब का सब प्रेडिकेट है। पूरा बड़ा हो छोटा हो, 1 वर्ड का हो, 50 वर्ड्स का हो, 100 वर्ड्स का हो, जो कुछ भी आप उसके बारे में बोलेंगे सब का सब प्रेडिकेट होगा। क्या होगा वो? प्रेडिकेट होगा। सिमिलरली अरबिक में है, जिसके बारे में आप कह रहे हैं, वॉट एवर यू आर स्पीकिंग अबाउट और दैट विच यू स्पीक अबाउट इन अ सेंटेंस इज कॉल्ड द मुब्तदा। That which you speak about in a sentence, in a jumla, is called mubtada. And whatever you tell about mubtada, is called khabar. And look at an example. Look at this example. Al-kitabu jadidun. Al-kitabu jadidun. What are you telling about in this sentence? You are telling about?
The book is new.
New.
No. What is that which you are telling about?
About the book.
About the book. You are telling about the book. So the book is mubtada. The book is the subject of your sentence. The mubtada. Right? And what are you telling about al-kitabu? Jadidun. So jadidun becomes khabar. Jadidun becomes predicate. Al-kitabu is the subject, mubtada, and jadidun is the predicate, khabar. Correct? Understand?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, anyone of you? Mr. Sibghatullah?
कहाँ पढ़ाई हुई?
Mr. Sibghatullah? You are not there online? Nahi hai.
One candidate is missing.
Anyway, now this one. Rasul Akhtar,
Yes sir.
आप समझ रहे हैं?
जी.
कोई प्रॉब्लम? नहीं प्रॉब्लम. गुड. तो जिसके बारे में that which you speak about in a sentence is called the subject, and whatever you speak about that subject is called predicate. Now in this sentence you are speaking about al-kitabu. You are speaking about al-kitabu. So al-kitabu is the subject, is the mubtada, and you are telling that al-kitabu is jadidun. So jadidun is what which you are telling about al-kitabu. Jadidun is what which you are telling about, is what you are telling about al-kitabu. So jadidun becomes the predicate. Now ये तो समझ में आ गया, subject and predicate?
Yes sir. Yes.
आ गया. Let us move ahead now. In Arabic, mubtada must have two properties. One is that mubtada will always be marfu, mubtada cannot be mansoob, and mubtada cannot be majroor. Mubtada and khabar both. Khabar will also be marfu. It will have a dhamma if it is with the in the original form. I mean primary form is dhamma. To make, there are other things also which makes marfu. I will tell you that later when the time comes. At this juncture, you know that marfu is made with a single or double dhamma. So with the dhamma. And mansoob is made with fatha, and majroor is formed with kasra at the end. Right. So mubtada and khabar both will be marfu, and mubtada will be marifa, definite, and khabarun will be nakira, indefinite. So for a mubtada it has to be what? Definite. And definite, yeah, marfu'un marifa, and khabar has to be nakira. Same thing is given here. The predicate gives information about the subject. There is an implied unwritten is or are between subject and predicate. If the sentence starts with a noun ism, that noun is the subject. The subject is generally definite, marifa. The predicate is generally indefinite, nakira. Both the subject and predicate are in the nominative case, marfu. Both have to be marfu. A nominal sentence may have other details after the predicate that give additional information. So I mean to tell you that a sentence has these two basic things, necessary things. there may be other things also. The sentence may have many words, 10, 15 words, but there will be two things, subject and predicate, and all other things may come, may be there in the sentence, but you have to find out these two things. If these two things are there, that is Jumla Ismiya, otherwise it cannot be a Jumla Ismiya. Some example. At-talibu mujtahidun. At-talibu is definite, है ना? Is definite by
Yes, sir.
al, mu'arrafun bi al. So it becomes mubtada, and mujtahidun is indefinite, है ना?
Khabar.
Nakira, it becomes khabar. The meaning will be at-talibu, you are telling about at-talibu, the student, and mujtahidun, this is what you are telling about at-talibu, khabar. You are telling about talibu, that the talibu is mujtahidun, hardworking. So the student is hardworking. Next, al-Kaabatu Baytullahi. Now you find that there are three words in it. How many words are there? Al-Kaabatu Baytullahi. Al-Kaabatu Baytullahi. See, the first word, Al-Kaabatu. Al-Kaabatu is marfa, or definite or indefinite, marfu or mansub or majroor. Marfu. Al-Kaabatu is the subject, marfu. And baytu, only baytu. Baytu is marfu. And baytu means house. Baytullahi. Tanween is removed here. There is a rule I will tell you later when you study the phrases, you will learn Baytullahi what it is. It is a possessive phrase. Baytullahi is a possessive phrase which you will learn later in the second book. Baytullahi means the house of Allah. Baytullahi means the house of Allah. Al-Kaabatu, the Kaaba is Baytullahi, the house of Allah. Al-Kaabatu becomes the subject, and Baytu becomes what? The predicate. Then the next word, Allahi, Lafzul Jalala, it is extra word other than these two. So there will be many other additional words in the sentence. You have to be focusing on subject and predicate. Is dono par dhyan dena hai. Now the third one, Al-Mudarrisu fil fasli. Al-Mudarrisu fil fasli. The teacher is in the classroom. Now in this sentence, Al-Mudarrisu is the subject, and you see it is marfu. Marfu hoga na? Which is the predicate in this sentence? Is there any marfu word here?
No, sir.
No. Fil fasli means in the class. Fil fasli means in the class.
In the class.
So the teacher is in the class. The sentence is complete. When it is a sentence, it has to have the subject and predicate. So we find the subject. The subject is al-mudarrisu, but we are not able to find the predicate because we know that the predicate has to be marfu, and fi is not marfu, al-fasle is not marfu. It is majroor. So where is the predicate? And there can be no sentence without predicate. So I will tell you that this sentence has got subject, and that is al-mudarrisu, and the predicate is fil fasli. And fil fasli is a type of predicate which you will learn later when you study the khabar and mubtada al jumla ismiya in detail. In the second or third part of the book, you will learn this kind, fil fasli. Some part of it you will learn in the second book, and in detail you will learn it in the third book. So this is again a sentence. Al-Mudarrisu fil fasli, the teacher is in the class. There are some examples from the Quran of the subject and predicate. Right? These are examples from the Quran and Hadith of subject and predicate, khabar and mubtada. उम्मीद है आपको ये एजुकेशनल वीडियो पसंद आया होगा। लाइक कीजिए और अपने कॉन्टैक्ट्स में शेयर कर दीजिए।
ताकि आपके सारे कॉन्टैक्ट के लोग इससे फ़ायदा उठा सकें। और अभी सुफ़ा स्मार्ट स्कूल की तरफ से और सुफ़ा ग्लोबल क्लासरूम की तरफ से बहुत सारे एजुकेशनल वीडियोस लगातार आने वाले हैं, तो आप इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए ताकि जैसे ही वीडियो अपलोड हो आपके पास फ़ौरन पहुंच सके।